Well, hello there, and in this video we will be going through all the stop sign tips on GeoGuessr. If you found this useful, feel free to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more tip content. This video wouldn't be possible without Critical Pig, OK1212, and Mouse with Beer. A lot of the information was also collected from GeoHints and GeoTips. Those websites were also very handy. Most stop signs in the US and Canada would say stop. However, you can get arrête in the French-speaking parts of Canada, which is mostly in Quebec. When comparing US and Mexico, Mexico would say alto, and this is the same case for Costa Rica and Guatemala. When looking more towards the Central Americas, Curacao and US Virgin Islands will say stop, whereas Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico will say pare. The best way to separate Mexico and South America is looking at the stop sign, and the stop signs in Mexico will say alto, whereas in South America it will say pare. It is difficult to separate all the South American countries based on what it says in the sign. However, you can use the back of the signs to separate the countries. For example, in Colombia you have this unique white cross, and this is distinctive to only Colombia. Ecuador can be a very similar country, but it will not have that white cross on the back of the signs. Peru has this zebra signpost, which is black, white, and this is distinctive for Peru in South America. Most of the time, the signposts in Chile will have this hollow gap just before the pare stop sign, and this is unique to Chile. Most of Bolivia's road signs will have wooden posts, and it's much more common to get these wooden signposts in Bolivia than other South American countries. Brazil mostly has black-backed road signs. Most of the time, this is a very good indication that you have to be in Brazil in South America. Unlike Brazil, Argentina will not have a black back on the signs. However, Uruguay will have these thick white wooden posts, and this is much rarer to get in Argentina, so when you have these thick white posts, you should be in Uruguay. Japan is the only Asia country that will have the stop signs as triangles. The best way to separate Korean from other Asian languages is that it will have circles in the characters much more often, and when you have a circle like this on your stop sign, it can only be in South Korea. Thailand and Cambodia can be quite confused, and the main clue is driving side. However, if you look at these stop signs, there is a big difference with Cambodia having a space between its two joint up characters. When comparing Thailand and Laos, of course, driving side is essential because they both drive on different sides, but Thailand will have 3 different characters, whereas Laos will only have 2. When comparing Malaysia and Indonesia, when you have a stop sign that says berhenti, you will be in Malaysia. However, in Indonesia, you can sometimes get a stop sign with a separate sign underneath saying berhenti as well. But in Indonesia, you should not be getting stop signs that say berhenti. When comparing Malaysia and Singapore, Singapore will have it more of a square shape, so you will see this white background visible, whereas in Malaysia, you will have berhenti as well. When comparing Singapore and Hong Kong, a good clue is the stop sign. For Hong Kong, you will have the word stop as well as the unique character. The difference between Taiwan and Hong Kong is that Taiwan won't have the word stop on the sign. Bangladesh will have no words on the stop sign, whereas Sri Lanka will do. Although it is rare to get India rounds and find the stop signs, there is a lot more variation in India than Sri Lanka, and you would get only stops signs saying stop in Sri Lanka, whereas in India that is not always the case. It is rare to find a Bhutanese stop sign, but it looks like this with the small word stop. When comparing Mongolia, Russia and Kyrgyzstan, Mongolia is the only one that looks like it is in Cyrillic. Israel will have a hand on the stop sign, and this is also found in Palestine. Jordan, Lebanon and UAE will have stop as well as Arabic. Tunisia also has Arabic on the top. However, the stop word is much smaller and more looks like the French version, as well as the Arabic looking a lot more elongated. Egypt can also have a very similar stop sign to the Middle East, which is different to Tunisia, but you also get quite a few blue stop signs in Egypt. However, in Africa it can be hard to find out differences between countries, but the general stop sign that you would find in Africa is this one, and this one is mostly found in Lesotho, Eswatini, South Africa, and Botswana. And you can also get variations of this and other signs in Kenya. Botswana is unique because you can get this black and yellow signpost, which is not present in any other Africa country. Nigeria is also another country that can have the same stop sign. However, you can also find this yellow stop sign, which has yellow in text and the outline, and this is unique to Nigeria. You can also get another type of stop sign in Africa, which has the font slightly different and the size of the text is smaller. You get this other sign in Uganda, Kenya, and Senegal. Ghana also has its own unique font, which is very similar to the one on the right. This is different to the ones found in Uganda, Kenya, and Senegal. However, with African countries, it's quite hard to find stop signs, so therefore this may not be as useful in the game, but if you're playing NNMPZ or a challenge, this is good to know. The Madagascar stop sign is very unique with this triangle mark in the middle. However, you are very unlikely to find this in the game because Madagascar is only Trekker. Australia has this traditional stop sign. However, you can also get it on traffic lights like the one on the right, and apparently this is unique to New South Wales. For Oceania, you pretty much get stop signs like this for all these different places. However, if you want to separate New Zealand and Australia, it is much more common for the back of signs in New Zealand to have a yellow sticker, as well as it having a white back. Whereas in Australia, there is more of a grey back and you generally lack the sticker. Turkey is the only country to have der on their stop sign. Ireland can have two different types of stop signs, the traditional stop, but also it can have stad, and this stad is unique to Ireland. Spain and Portugal have different stop signs. Although they both say the same word, Spain has much shorter text, and as well as that, it is a different type of font and it is bolder than Portugal's. France and Spain's can look very similar, but when you put it side to side, Spain has a different font, and as well as that, the O on the stop is completely rounded, whereas the O on France's is more egg-shaped. When comparing France and Italy's stop sign, Italy's has a much stronger font and it appears to be a different font altogether, and as well as that, the actual size of the text seems to be taller than the French one. When comparing Italy to Spain, Spain has of course a much shorter text and a different font. And like said before, it is important to look at the O. In Spain it is completely rounded, and for Italy it is completely egg-shaped. Although it is rare to confuse these two countries, in a rural location it can be difficult at times. But both fonts are very similar, but the main thing here is Italy has a much stronger font, and as well as that, if you look at the O, Portugal's is a lot more rounded. For Greece, the biggest clue to separate it from Italy is that it looks like the stop has been overstretched and it appears larger than the text on the Italian stop signs, and as well as that, it is likely to be of a different font. Now I am going to quickly go over some bonus stop signs that have been found by GeoMouse, Critical Pig, and have been put up on the GeoHints website and Critical and OK's Word document that are linked down below. Each stop sign will have its own unique URL on the GeoHints website, but also on Critical and OK's Word documents. First of all, you can get a ret with other languages, and for New Brunswick you can get a combination of both the stop and the arret, and also you can get a ret on its own too, but stop appears to be a lot more common in New Brunswick. For Quebec, you can also get another word as well as the arret. In this case, you can get setten in Wendig, and sorry if I butcher this, but Nercaha in Maastricht. Bloody hell, that was difficult. Also, you can get Kipitskin in Amos, and you can also get Chana in Ordana. Be aware that these might be found elsewhere and maybe overlap in other provinces, but it is most likely going to be around Quebec at the very least. And if it is unique, then it'll be unique to that area with Street View. You also get this unique language in Quebec and Nunavut. And the two locations that were found were in Inukjuak and Iqaluit. When you have Naki as well as the stop, you are in Alberta most likely, and this was found in Maskwakis. When you get a still or sliada, then you should be in British Columbia, and these were found in Kamloops and Ashcroft. You can also get this unique walla in a place called Alert Bay in British Columbia, and you can also get this talek. And this is along a certain road highway, and I think I found it in 2 different places. So the best way to look at that is to go to GeoHints. Although it is hard to tell from this image, you see this unique crown on top of this unique language, which looks like it has an E upside down. This is found in New Brunswick, and the location it was found was in Fredericton. You can also get this nut carvit, and this is found in Nunavut, and the location that was pinpointed was in Cambridge Bay, which is quite visible on the map. Ontario, you can also get this knock tan, and this was found in Sault Ste. Marie. When you have stop with another word in Quebec, you can have Teston, which was found in Kanawake, and also Nongishkan, which was found in Naniwake. For Alberta, you can get this single line of 2 words, that is Asta Nitla. This is found in Calgary, and you also have that unique mark over the L, which would usually associate with Poland, so it's quite unusual to see it in Canada. A good tip for British Columbia is from these 2 examples, you have like a W either towards the start or towards the end, and it's a much smaller W and it's higher up and not in line. These were found in British Columbia. The first one is along Campbell River, and it's actually a place name. And then you've also got Vancouver as well for the bottom one. For New Brunswick, you'll have Nagasi, and yes, it has 2 A's after the G, and this was found in a place called Elissipogtog First Nation. Very interesting name. For Nova Scotia, it's very similar, and you have the Naka, but the dash in between the A and the S, so Nakasi, and this is found, or was found, in Sydney. Not Australia. You can also get 1-worders in Ontario that don't say stop or arret, and you have Nukshikan, and that was found in Wallisburg, and then you have Ten Star Ne, which was in Shannonville, and for some reason this is giving me Vietnam text, but that could just be me. You've also got another Naka, but it is only 5 letters and called Nakai in Quebec, and this was found in Set Isles, or Iles, or however you pronounce it. You can also get Cree, which is another language, and it's generally associated with like these upside down hockey sticks with the tent marks as well. And you generally get this officially in Northwest Territories, but you can also get it in Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, and Sask. Rightio, so after that shambolic pronunciation, let's move on to bonus stop signs in the US. So for the US, we have 2 unique stop signs that I managed to find. Probably quite a few different local tribes or little, small local languages in different parts of the US that you can share in the description. But the main 2 here that I pointed out is Oklahoma or Oklahoma, however you pronounce it, and it has like this unique kind of language above the stop. We also have Hawaii, which can have a blue stop sign, which is quite unique. However, you tend to get this on the private roads, so you won't see this blue stop sign on the normal roads of Hawaii. And that is all. So yeah, hope you found this video very useful. I apologize if I absolutely butchered a lot of place names or pronunciations. I would also like to shout out Nujaka, who's also very good with the linguistic side. So if you've got any questions about the languages, my advice is to contact him. And like I say, if you found any other unique stop signs, feel free to share them down in the description. There was quite a lot of Europe that had to miss out, especially the Balkans, because they look very similar and there was a lot of overlap. Similar to what I mentioned with South America. But yeah, if you've got any additional tips, feel free to drop comment down below. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like. It lets me know that you guys like this content. And also, if you want to see another map, just let me know by hitting that like button as well. I'm aiming to do a lot more tip videos in the near future, so feel free to stay along, especially if you're a beginner too. So I'll be doing a lot of beginner tips very shortly. And yeah, so hope this video becomes useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, of course.